Good morning and welcome here to Hibs TV for Derby Day at Easter Road. It's all quiet behind us right now, but come lunchtime there'll be a cauldron of noise inside the stadium and there's lots at stake for the Hibees today, battling to secure that top 6 position and then also push into the European football spots. Let's hope there's some more special Derby Day memories like these.
To block chance, Jones! Well, Hart should have cleared it. Rob Jones didn't care and said he was due a goal. And Rob Jones scores for the first time in the Edinburgh Derby. And Rob Jones gives him the lead.
Smith might get a cross in here, he does, and here's Bremner. Oh, it's only gone as far as Sosa, who can hit them, and it's 2-0 to Hibs. Another fine finish, this time from Frank the Frenchman.
Well, he doesn't score ordinary goals, this lad. And that's why he's a European Champions Cup winner's medal, and he goes all the way to celebrate with the Hibs fans. What a start for Alec McLeish's side this evening.
Well, there was some really special Derby memories there. I'm delighted to say I'm joined by a man who's created lots of special memories in Derby games for supporters too, although not on that VT. I'm delighted to be joined by Martin Boyle.
Thanks for having me.
How was that, just watching theirs? Where were your goals?
I presume they're coming, but yeah, obviously it's good memories. Obviously the past games, it's a special occasion, obviously the Derby, big hype around it, so yeah, everyone hopefully today is up for it.
Yeah, what is it like to play in an Edinburgh Derby?
Yeah, obviously the atmosphere, around the city, the buzz, the bragging rights, you know, it's obviously you want to come out victorious, but yeah, as players it's just another game, but you know what's at stake, you want to be a winner, and the atmosphere is always amazing when you come out. You get that butterflies in your stomach, and that's the big games you want to play in.
Yeah, and there's a bit more at stake as well as bragging rights for both teams today. Obviously both coming in off difficult runs, but is it the old cliche in these games that form just goes out the window?
Yeah, you could probably relatively put it down to a cup game, like you say. Everything goes out the window. It's who's got the bottle and who's up for it the most. You know, you need to make your stamp on the game. First tackle, basically get the crowd on your side, make them up for it, and then kind of dictate the game. But like you say, it's who comes out the best, and that's the end of the day.
Yeah, we have to talk about the Edinburgh Derby here earlier on this season. Your obviously big return to Hibs, to come on in that game, to score that goal, feel the eruption in the crowd. What was that like?
Yeah, it was obviously, I've spoke about it a few times. It's weird because obviously I came back and never met the lads, never had a pre-season, kind of really jumped straight into it. But I knew what they were all about. I knew what the feeling was, and obviously to come back, and it was a great occasion. Didn't really expect to play as much as what I did, but yeah, obviously to make obviously to come on and do what I did, it was a good feeling. Obviously it would have been better with 3 points, but you know, I think it was, you know, obviously the buzz of the fans, and you know, everyone was excited, and obviously, like I say, it would have been better with 3 points, but it was a good occasion, and yeah, it was a nice feeling for myself and for the family.
Yeah, it was a massive moment, and I'll give you a spotlight now because we'll just show that goal to the supporters.
We're in the final minute of the 5 additional. Can Hibs conjure up one last chance? Martin Boyle through for Ellie Yuan. He's inside the area, needs a decent cutback. Boyle is there! And Martin Boyle, on his return to Easter Road, brings Hibs level at the dead! What a fairy tale, Stuart Lovell!
Well, it was the 2 players, I would argue, are the quickest on the pitch who have affected the game. Yuan has really not had much of an opportunity to get the ball at his feet and stretch his legs. He ran away from Halkett as if he wasn't there, and Halkett is no slouch. What we've learned today, Cliff, is that pace will always keep you in the game.
Yep.
And this was the point where Boyle managed to get onto the second ball, threaded it through into Yuan, and he could have pulled the trigger. He didn't panic. This was the ball, lovely touch by Yuan, and he goes again. Boyle into Yuan, look at him get away from Halkett, see you later, cut back, and that's exactly what you want Martin Boyle in there, in between the sticks.
Yeah.
But it was the combination between the 2, nothing more. Yuan into Boyle, Boyle gets away, and this is the thing that caught my attention, how fast he is to get away from his man. They've got a player here in Yuan who has got pace to burn.
Yep.
He reminds me of Didier Agathe back in the day, who can run away from people, and he doesn't look that quick, but he's just lightning over 10 yards.
Yeah.
And you've really got a player that you can...
What a moment that was, Boyley. Just looking back, does it bring all the emotion back?
Yeah, absolutely. It's Derby Day, the buzz. I've said nice feeling for myself, nice feeling for the fans, and yeah, it's obviously a special occasion.
Yeah, it must have been quite a frustrating season for you, obviously being out injured for quite a prolonged period of time after such a high so early on. But how is your recovery going?
Yeah, like you say, got off to a great start. Couldn't have asked for a better comeback. Doing quite well, and then yeah, kind of took a turn from there. But like, these things don't always pan out. Obviously, I'd like to be injury free, but I've been there before, and I know I can come back stronger. But yeah, recovery's going well. Kind of a bit frustrated, going around in circles at the moment, but obviously keeping the right mindset, kind of focused and where I want to be, and yeah, it's going well, and hopefully I'll be back soon.
Yeah, you've got your sights firmly set on the summer, haven't you? And hopefully trying to hit the ground running for what could be the first league game of the season.
Yeah, obviously I'm making little goals. Obviously I don't want to say them out loud. I don't want any setbacks of that, but it's going well for myself. Obviously the physio team and the staff are happy with my progress. Obviously I went out of Qatar a few weeks ago, done some testing, so that was all positive, and yeah, so like I said, I'm setting little goals for myself, but I don't want to set long-term targets. But yeah, obviously I want to be on track for the start of the season.
Yeah, and alongside your recovery, obviously with Australia, you were vibes manager. I think that's what the Socceroos were dubbing you as. Is that the same inside HTC?
Nah, miserable around there. No, obviously, like, I'm in a privileged position from where I've came from and what I've done. You know, obviously injuries, setbacks, but look, I can wake up every morning and say I've still achieved my goal. I'll get back to where I want to be, but like I say, I'm in a privileged position, smile on my face. I know every day is not going to be happy, and that's where they need to pick me up, but I come in every day, I keep the spirits up and make sure everyone's on their toes.
Fantastic, and you'll be doing that at the moment, because we'll just look at the league table and it's incredibly tight, isn't it? Obviously just a point separating us in 6th and Livingston in 7th, but also a little gap now between kind of us and St Mirren. The table's so tight though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's very competitive. Like, obviously I seen last year it was very much the same. It was very competitive. Obviously today it's very crucial. Obviously looking at this, I've not seen it in a bit, but yeah, like, you know, if we win today, it's a massive step for the lads. But obviously we need to earn the right to play today. We obviously need to earn the right and win the game. But yeah, obviously looking at that, it's like we obviously wish for a better season. We know we've got expectations here and we want to be higher in the table than that. But you know, we are where we are, and you know, obviously a win today will be it'll be a good step along the way.
Yeah, and 2 games to go before the split. And looking at the other fixtures, Livingston are at home to St Johnstone today. There'll be some eyes, I'm sure, on that one, and St Mirren are away at Rangers, I believe.
I think it's important to focus on ourselves and not results around us. Obviously, old cliche, but yeah, like I say, we need to focus on ourselves. We need to get the result today. We know what we need to do. And yeah, hopefully we can come in after the game celebrating 3 points and obviously not worrying about what the other results are.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I spoke to our manager Lee Johnson ahead of this one. Here's what he said. Lee, we're moving ever closer to the split. It's a sold-out crowd at Easter Road on Saturday. How much are you looking forward to this game?
I'm really looking forward to it. You know, this is one that we want badly. We know our fan base wants it, the players want it. We have to show that obviously in our performance, but I think it's a wonderful opportunity for us. You know, we are in the top 6. We're competing for, first of all, to secure top 6 and then to go and fight for European places. And a win on Saturday really gives us the opportunity to kick on from what have been a couple of disappointing performances from us.
Lee, you described this one after Dundee United as a cup final or an old school 6-pointer. Have you been feeling a positive vibe or vibrancy around the training ground?
Yes, certainly latter end of the week, because the lads know what's coming. You know, earlier on in the week, of course, individuals a bit disappointed with the performance. We wanted to win the game and we fell short. We didn't win the game. But in football, we've always got that opportunity of the next game, and they come no bigger than this one for us. And like I say, the eyes is on the prize for us, which is making sure that we come out Saturday night having won the game, and we're in a really good position in the league. And I think, you know, to build confidence as a football club, that belief, that sort of credit, if you like, from fan base and players and staff, it will be fantastic.
Let's talk about the fans and how good they've been in terms of backing the club, backing you and backing the players, because obviously it's sold out at Easter Road again on Saturday, and they could play a really vital part, couldn't they?
They're so important. They're so important, particularly in this game, obviously particularly at home. You know, we're so fond of our fans. Like, we love them to bits. We know how passionate they are. Sometimes, of course, that comes out in criticism, but that's absolutely fair, and we take that on the chin, because that's really, as well as ourselves, who we're doing it for. And we know that this game and how much it means to the fans, as it does to us, and they're part of our win. You know, we want to make sure that any win we get in the division, it's a club win, you know, and that includes the fans, that includes the staff, that includes the board, and obviously the players have got to go and execute that. And the more we can get of those type performances, those type wins, the better will be service to go and really achieve things in this league.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk surrounding Hearts leading into this game, and a change in management obviously as well. But for you, I imagine the focus is very much on Hibs and what you want to see from your players.
Yeah, we haven't taken much notice, if I'm honest with you. We're really focused on ourselves. Obviously, the game scenarios may change, the opposition shape may change with a new manager, but we know the individuals and their strengths and weaknesses at heart. So, like I say, the big focus is on ourselves, is making sure that we get an 11 out that are fit, that are hungry, that are aggressive, that can play on the front foot. And defend well, because in these derby games you need all those things, and it's certainly one that we're looking forward to, and we're looking forward to thriving, and there's no fear from us at all.
Just finally on team news, obviously Paul Hanlon missed the game at Tannadice, and you mentioned Lewis Stevenson had some fluid on the knee as well. How are both of those?
Well, Paul we're just giving a little bit of time to, but we're hopeful on that one, and Lewis Stevenson has done really well and should be absolutely fine and available for selection.
Excellent news, Lee. Thank you for speaking to us.
Cheers.
Boyle, it's clear there from Lee Johnson that he knows how much is at stake in this game and how much these games mean to the fans and the players. I presume that's an attitude that goes throughout the dressing room and throughout HTC.
Yeah, of course. He obviously knows it's an important game. Kind of say it's a season-defining game for us ourselves. Yeah, like say we want to be victorious. You know, they're always the fixtures when they come out. They're the ones you look forward to, see when they are and stuff like that. But like I say, it's a great occasion, great day out for the fans. But like I say, it's a special moment, and yeah, you want the bragging rights at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned the fans there. Obviously, tickets for this game have sold out. They went on Ticket Exchange. People were still buying them if people couldn't attend. What is it like inside Easter Road when the atmosphere is at its peak?
Yeah, obviously, you walk out the tunnel and you're kind of zoned out. They say it's getting up for the game, you always get that butterflies, but when you hear that, you know, the roar of the crowd, and kind of important not to collapse.
Yeah.
But like in terms of me, I embrace the occasion. I love it. I love the support. I love the away fans. I love getting abused. But stuff like that. But let's say you need to. It's important. You need to do everything right. I'd say every game's important, but you need to do everything right. And yeah, obviously when the moment comes, you need to claim that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll go to a commercial break now, but stay with us because we'll be hearing from David Marshall and continue to get the expertise of the man next to me, Martin Boyle. We'll see you soon.
Shop without online trackers following your every step. Get NordVPN now and avoid online trackers. NordVPN, cyber security built for every day.
Welcome back to Hibs TV as we continue to build up to today's Edinburgh Derby here at Easter Road. Boyle, we have to talk about the visitors, albeit not too much, but they had a big change in the week. Obviously, Robbie Neilson departing and Stephen Naismith coming in as their interim manager. Just as a player, you've had these kind of things happen before in terms of managers leaving. We had David Gray come in as interim for 2 periods last year. What's that like as a player, and what can an interim manager kind of get out of someone?
Yeah, I've experienced it a few times before. Can be confusing. Obviously, it comes at a bit of a shock. Obviously, you get told last minute. Sometimes you find through social media, that's the way it is these days. But obviously, it can go either way. It can obviously deflate you, or you can get a lift. You can obviously see how these things kind of pan out. Obviously, Aberdeen have picked up a bit of momentum this season, so obviously, hopefully not today that they don't pick up. But yeah, obviously they've got an experienced man. Obviously, he knows the club. He knows what it's all about. But obviously, it'll be a challenge for them today, and hopefully we can make it hard for them.
Do interim managers come in and try and change little things, or is it more about lifting the mood?
Just kind of, obviously Dave's took over a few times. Kind of just brings in his kind of own ideas, but he doesn't want to change a lot. Obviously, he's an interim manager. He doesn't want to put all his thoughts over in case it doesn't pan out. Yeah. Obviously, I know Dave myself personally. He's got a job for life here. Probably why he doesn't want the job. But yeah, like he comes in and you're associated to the club. You don't want to change a lot of things too quick. Kind of keep training regimes different. Obviously, tactically, kind of put your different spin on things and stuff like that. But yeah, look, obviously as an interim manager, you've probably got the long-term goal of being the manager. It can be quite difficult. Hopefully, I don't get that position. But yeah, obviously, the players could. Like I say, you could either be deflated after it. You know, some players can get attached to a manager, really like them, or you can get a buzz off it. And you know, different players can get the opportunity to come in and obviously make their stake in the game. But yeah, obviously we've been through it a few times. Obviously, Dave's probably keeps speaking about that Scottish Cup final, obviously. But yeah, it can go either ways. But obviously, hopefully today that it doesn't go that way.
Or in Lee Johnson's eyes, does he look at that and think, oh, Stephen Naismith, he might change this, he might change that? Or do you think he's thinking, well, this is an Edinburgh Derby, it's on our own patch, this is all about us and how we put ourselves and enforce ourselves on the game?
Yeah, obviously he's associated with the club, he's been in there a while. He'll probably have his own ideas. Everyone's got their own ideas. He'll probably envision what he wants to do today. Obviously, we're going to come out today and have a right good goal. Obviously, we want to win the game. Hopefully, we're on the front foot and stuff like that. But yeah, obviously, it's hard. I don't know how the system is or what they're going to line up as. But obviously, they're going to want to quiet the home crowd, and hopefully, we can change that.
Yeah, one man that will have a big influence today is David Marshall, and my colleague Gavin Rittu caught up with him ahead of this one.
Marsh, we're speaking ahead of Saturday's Edinburgh Derby. How have preparations been going ahead of this one?
Yeah, we've had a good week's training coming off the back of the disappointing result at Tannadice. So obviously it's been a tough couple of days getting over that, but yeah, obviously with the big game coming up, looking forward to it. It's a challenge. We've got 2 games left before the split, so it's still in our hands where we want to be, and under no illusions it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, how big a game is this one, obviously with it being the Derby, but also with the league table and how tight it is to finish in the top 6?
Yeah, I think the early Edinburgh derbies are more just looked upon as the rivalry, but this means so much to both clubs chasing their end goal for the season. So yeah, under no illusions that it's very, very difficult, but we're confident if we perform like probably we haven't done the last couple of games, we can certainly get a good result, and hopefully that home crowd can spur us on.
Yeah, in terms of Hearts then, under new management, what type of challenge do you expect from Stephen Naismith's side?
Yeah, well, that's the unknown. If Stephen changes the shape or the personnel or how we'll go about it. So, but I think that even lets us more concentrate on ourselves. I think we have to get the performances better than they have been since we've been returned for the break. We were in good form before, so it's not that long ago that we're in that good form and picking up points. But that has to change, especially at home on Saturday.
Yeah, you mentioned the crowd before. It's a sellout crowd at Easter Road. How much will they play their part?
Yeah, of course they will, but we have to give them something ourselves. I think the Motherwell game, we didn't give them that at all. I think probably for the whole game it was poor for us as a team. So yeah, we'll feed off the crowd, but again, the first 10 minutes they'll no doubt they'll lift us, but we have to give them something to go on, and we need to give them a performance and a well overdue result.
Appreciate your time, Marsh. Good luck on Saturday.
Cheers, thank you.
Well, we heard from David Marshall there, really experienced head, and if you hear any clatters or bangs behind us, they're just checking the seats ahead of the game, just in case you can hear that. But Boyle, David Marshall, really experienced head. Where do you think this game will be won or lost this afternoon?
Obviously it's important to... What's happening?
Just checking the seats.
Obviously it's important to have your most experienced players on the pitch. He's a leader, you know, he's a big influence in the dressing room. You know, he's been there, done that, and he's a great guy around the place, and obviously he'll be experienced enough for this game, and that's important.
Yeah, absolutely. And as the noise gets louder and louder, I just wanted to speak to you about momentum in this one. If we could win this game, how much momentum will that give Lee Johnson and the players going into St Johnstone, and then hopefully the top six?
Yeah, it's obviously it's huge. Like, you want to win every game. Obviously, it's difficult. I think it's important for us to have a bit of consistency. Obviously, we've had that recently, and then when you take a dip, everyone wants to react around the place. Everyone wants to correct their wrongs. It's important to get the fans back on the side. You know, it's dipped a little bit, and I say today it's a great occasion to do that, and there's no better way.
Absolutely. Well, that's all we have time for here on Hibs TV. It's a 12:30 p.m. kickoff, and the game is available on pay-per-view. Boyle, thank you so much for joining us, and you can hear from our commentary team of Cliff Pike and Joel Murray a little bit later on. Come on, the Hibees.